Hi, everyone. Welcome to the AvantLink Affiliate Interface Training. I'm Jen Hudak alongside Ross Baker, and we are both account managers in AvantLink's affiliate department. We are here today to provide a bit more insight and clarity into how to best use our interface.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Congratulations on joining the AvantLink network. We're glad to have you and look forward to working with you all. Basically, what we're going to cover today is we want to help you get into the interface, get your account set up, and start joining merchant programs and getting links up so that you can drive traffic to those programs.
All right, so first things first, we assume you've already applied and been accepted into the AvantLink network. If so, you should have received an email similar to this one. There's a lot of great information in this email, so please keep this handy. But for starters, they're gonna have a link to the login page here, as well as the temporary password for you to log in. So we're gonna copy that temporary password and then navigate over to this dashboard to log in. So we're going to use the email that we received that Getting Started series to, and then we will paste our password in there and click login. And if this is the first time that you're accessing the AvantLink interface, you will be required to either have a text or a phone call sent to you to the phone number that you put in your account when you signed up. And this is our two-factor authentication, just an extra level of security to keep you safe. So we'll have them send a text, send code.
And it is very important to keep your account secure because basically anyone that has access to your account can withdraw any money you've earned through the network. So.
Perfect, thanks Ross. All right, so we'll enter this validation code and get into the network. All right, we are now in the AvantLink interface. This is the affiliate homepage that you'll land on when you log into your account. We'll come back to overview a few of the key details here in a little bit, but I first want to show you how to update your password, since the password that was sent to you in that original email is just a temporary password. So we'll click on the wheel in the upper right. All right, so when you click on that wheel, you will be entered into user settings. You should see your name and email listed here, and you'll just simply click on password in order to update this. You'll input that temporary password as current password and then update using the specific requirements that are needed. All right, so once that's all set, then we can hustle on over to make sure our business settings are intact.
Exactly. So under the account tab here, this is where all the administrative information related to your affiliate account lives. We'll start with business settings, where basically your contact info, want to make sure that's all correct. And then especially the email address, you've got your main email address up top there that's used for network communications. But can you talk a bit to the email notification preferences there, Jen?
Absolutely. So right down here, you'll see some options to check in, opt in, or opt out of receiving merchant recruitment offers and merchant newsletters and emails. We highly recommend leaving those on and selected. If you have more than one person handling this affiliate account, you can add an additional email address down here specifically to receive these notifications. Otherwise, the default setting will be to the email address that is set up top here. But this is a great way and one of the best ways for merchants to be able to update you on their latest sales and promotions that they have going on and really help you take advantage of the affiliate channel.
And it's only the merchants that you're active with, so it's not like you're going to get a bunch of spam emails.
Great point.
And then Jen, how do you file your taxes?
So the tax information is very important and twofold. So in business settings, we're first going to make sure that our tax classification is set appropriately. I am an individual / sole proprietor, so that's correct. However, if you are a nonprofit, a corporation, or an LLC, you'll just choose whichever one is appropriate and make that selection. Once you do that, you'll click Update. And then we'll want to make sure that all of the specific tax information is input into the tax information section under Account.
And most of it should carry over from that business settings tab.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. So it's pulling over my name, my mailing address, and then of course that tax classification entity type. We will need to add an additional email address and social security number, and that will all auto-populate into this W-9 once you sign, type your name, and click Save.
That'll be really everything our accounting team needs to pay you the money you've earned, except for the actual payment information, which we'll go to next.
All right, so once our tax information is updated, we're going to come back to this Account tab, and we are going to go down to Payout Methods.
And there's a few different options for getting paid out. We do have the option to do a one-time withdrawal for a small fee. I think it's $10 each time you need to do that. Most of the affiliates are setting up a recurring payout either directly to their bank account or through PayPal.
So I currently have a bank account linked to this affiliate account, but I'm going to show you how to add a payout method simply by clicking Add Payout Method. And again, I'm going to be notified by 2FA. We're going to click Send Code via Text. And once we receive that, we'll put in the code. And click Verify. That'll kick you back to this homepage for payout methods, and we will click on Add Payout Method once more now that we've authenticated it. And we're going to say, I'd like to add PayPal as a payout option, and we'll click Continue. We want to get paid in US dollars. And the email you'll enter here is the email associated with the PayPal account that you plan to link. So it's important that you get this right. And we will save. Now, once we're back on this homepage, we can see that I have this Jen Hudak PayPal account and then also the bank account here. And if I want to do an automatic payout, I can do so. They're made on the 25th of each month, and only your current available balance will be paid out. And that is, of course, if we've met the minimum threshold, which is $50. So I can, if I wanted to change this over to that PayPal account, I could remove my bank account and add the PayPal account, but we can only have one account associated with automatic payouts. All right, so we are now all set up to receive payments, but what do we do from here, Ross? How do we check on payment status?
So that's going to be under the Account tab again, under Balance Summary. And basically there's 3 different balance summaries that we'll read here. One thing to note is, as is with the case with most affiliate networks, AvantLink isn't going to be able to pay out affiliates until the merchant pays their bill to the network. So we've got a few different things here. This pending balance up top is basically commissions that you've earned in the previous 30 to 60 days that have not yet been paid by the merchant. The next section is available balance. So these are commissions that have been earned, that have that invoice for the merchant has been paid to the network, and they're ready and available to be paid out to you. And then the final one, hopefully there's not too much down here, but if there is any sort of bankruptcy or collections issues between us and the merchant, which can happen from time to time, there will be a canceled summary here of commissions that you earned, but unfortunately for whatever legal reason, that merchant is unable to pay them to the network.
Which we don't currently see in here.
You don't have any of those. That's great.
That's fantastic. All right. Okay, anything else that we need to go over regarding payment before we get into the exciting stuff?
I think that's it. We're all set up and ready to go. So why don't we jump into how to identify and join programs?
Awesome. All right, so in order to begin applying to merchant programs, we're going to click on the merchant tab on the top left up here.
And hopefully, you know, if you've joined the network recently, you probably have a few merchants in mind that led you to us, or you've got an idea of what category is going to align well with your audience. So you've got some place to start there.
Absolutely. And, you know, knowing your audience is a great place to begin, as Ross mentioned. So for me, for example, I happen to love the outdoors, hiking, camping, biking. So I'm going to begin by sorting down to outdoor recreation retailers and brands that I might want to work with. And we're going to search through all merchants and click on Get Merchants. And this will filter down that 627 merchants down to 106, which is a little more manageable and easier to sort through to find the right partners.
Now there's a lot of information here, Jen. What metrics or criteria are you typically looking at when you're identifying a program that you want to work with?
So one of the first places that I will start is by sorting this data based on sales volume. This is initially set up in alphabetical order, but if we click on sales volume twice, it will sort in descending order. So this gives me a good sense of some of the programs in AvantLink that are performing well for other affiliates and that might also yield great success on my site. So once we do that, these new programs up here are pulling up to the top, but they've been in the network for less than 30 days, so we don't currently have any sales volume data on them. And right below that, you'll start seeing some of these bigger merchants, and we can just peruse and see who might jump out at us. Some strong brand names like REI and backcountry.com. And the other thing to really look at is commission rate. So we're looking at Backcountry here, and they offer an 8% base commission rate to affiliates that apply to work with their program. So if I were to apply to the Backcountry program and be accepted, then I'd receive 8% on any sale that I send their way. The other thing to note is referral days. Do you want to talk to us about the value of looking at this metric?
Absolutely, yeah. Referral days, also known as cookie duration. Basically, this is the length of time that cookie is going to stay with the user or the customer that's actually shopping on these websites. So you can see right here, we've got one that's 30 days. I think the majority of programs on AvantLink are around 30 days. Basically what that means is somebody comes to your site, they click a link to say a backcountry.com, they're going to have 30 days to make a purchase to qualify you to earn a commission on that sale.
Awesome. And then we have conversion rate. So this means that for basically every click, you have 1% chance of that click turning into a sale. And this number fluctuates quite a bit depending on the merchant. But it's also a good thing to look at when thinking about the potential impact that adding links for these particular brands may have on your site. What do you think about average order value? Is this something you pay attention to?
Absolutely, yeah. The average order value or average sale amount, definitely key. When you're driving traffic to these merchant websites, you want to have a clear understanding of what your earning potential is. So that's very simple. It's actually calculated in the earnings per click, but also you can look at the average sale amount times the commission. So 8% of 171, you will be earning about $13, $14 per sale.
That's pretty good. All right, so once we find a program that we're interested in working with, we can click this details apply link on the far left, and we'll be taken to the program description page.
All right, and so we'll see here with Bahnhof Sport, we've got the program manager there. In this case, it's Ryan, who actually works at Bahnhof. Oftentimes it can be a third-party marketing agency, typically an OPM, outsourced program manager, like an affiliate manager or a Click affiliate, something along those lines. But this is the person in charge of the program, essentially. Under the program description, there's usually a quick bio or history of the company and what they stand for, who their target audience is, to make sure you align well with that brand. And then some of the highlights, typical metrics, do's and don'ts of the program. And just a reminder, these are usually just standard guidelines to go off for every affiliate. Once you get in and really start performing well, a lot of this stuff can be negotiated. And that's really what the affiliate channel is all about, is rewarding performance to those that are doing well. So once you start proving yourself, it's only upwards from there.
So if you like everything that you see here and you agree with all the terms and conditions, you will simply click I accept the Bahnhof Sport program terms and conditions and click apply now.
And do you typically send email to the program manager?
That's a great idea. I think that goes a long way when you can email the account manager directly, and having the email linked right from here makes that super easy. But just making your application a little bit more personalized, I think can really make a big impact.
Yeah, especially if you can call out something in particular that you see with their site that really aligns well with yours.
So once you apply to a program, a merchant has 7 days to respond to that application. And if you want to check on the status of those applications, you can always come under merchant status and select pending applications and see what's pending in there. Now, how about if a merchant wants to work with you? Can they ask you to join their program?
Yeah, so again, it's back to when we're on the business settings, you want to make sure that the ability to receive merchant recruitments offers is checked. But as long as that's checked, any merchant can identify your site. They have a pretty similar interface, but the opposite. They're looking at a list of affiliates, and they can say, oh, I want to work with this site, shoot you an offer email that says, this is the rate we want to get you in the program at, and those will be there under your pending offers as well as on the homepage here.
So this makes it really easy when you log in, those pending offers are right in front of your face. So it does look like we have an offer pending from Left Lane Sports. And sometimes you might have heard of these retailers, and sometimes you may be not as familiar with them. So one thing to note, if you click on this logo, it will take you over to their website so you can get a sense of whether or not this merchant is going to be a good fit for your audience. So I want to go to Idaho. That looks fun. So if we like what we see, and again, as we just talked about previously, we read through the program description, we understand their business model, as well as commission rate and terms and conditions, we will just scroll to the bottom and say, I accept, click accept, and then we have another opportunity to work with a new merchant.
Perfect. And just one thing to note on those pending offers, they do expire after 30 days. So you want to be sure you're logging in and checking for those at least once a month, if not weekly or daily. It's just not a good way to start things off if you've got to ask the merchant to send an offer again or something along those lines. So yeah, looks like we're in this program. Do we want to go over how to actually get some links up?
Yeah. So there's two ways to get here. If you've just accepted an offer like we did for Left Lane, you can click on this tools link, and we can also always access that tools page from the tools link on the top of the page.
And basically what we're going to do is just highlight some of the top tools today. We'll have further videos down the road that dive in deep on some of these other tools we don't cover here. So
yeah, so this page is extremely comprehensive and really offers a lot for the advanced affiliate. But to get started, you don't need to know all of these details and how to use all of these tools. One of the most simple ways to get started is simply by pulling a merchant ad onto your site. So we'll click on Get Ads. And we have the option here to narrow this down to a specific merchant program, or if we leave the top blank selection, that will pull ads in for all of our partners. We also have the option to choose what ad type we want to see. If we want it to be an HTML, an image ad, a text ad, a video, you can make that selection here. Furthermore, we have some categories. So if you are specifically looking for Father's Day promotions, you can select that. Otherwise, you can, again, leave that selection blank to pull in all opportunities. And lastly, you can choose whether or not you want to see deals, or more specifically, deals that have coupon codes associated with them. All right, so we are going to look at ads for Left Lane Sports because we just joined their program and we want to see what they're all about and what kind of great deals they have going on.
And how are you typically identifying ads and where they would be a good fit on your site, or what's your strategy there?
You know, ad selection can be a personal choice and personal preference thing. We do tend to see stronger conversion on text ads versus banner ads. But if you have a nice sidebar banner location available, then this is a great way to pull those into your site. But I would let your site design drive your selection process. So if you have a tall vertical space you're trying to fill, looking for one of these 160 by 600 runners versus a square might be a better fit. So all sorts of options in here, but ultimately you just want something that's going to be pleasing to the eye and not too invasive on your site.
Basically, you want the ad to conform to your site design and not the other way around.
Absolutely. All right, so this text ad, save 50 to 70% on name brand outdoor gear, seems like a great option for me. So I'm going to click on Get HTML. And this is where you'll go to be able to integrate this into your site. And you have a couple different options on how to make that happen. So this first selection, dynamic JavaScript, this is so that if the merchant updates this ad on their end, that will update on on your site as well without you needing to make any changes to it. But if you'd rather do a standard HTML option or a URLs only option, you can also do that. Now, the open links in new window selection, I would always recommend putting that to yes, so that you're not sending traffic away from your site and making someone click the back button multiple times. It'll just open in a new tab and they can shop and return to your site as they please. And if you are integrating based on the HTML, what you will see on your site will be this link text. And when you click on it, it will carry you to this URL. All right, so if we wanted to incorporate this dynamic JavaScript text ad onto our site, we would simply highlight and copy that. And we'll go to a post that I'm working on over here. And I'm going to go to the text option and paste it in there. Now, one thing to note, when you go back to your visual view, you'll see this little play button, and it might not look like anything. It doesn't look like a text ad yet, but if we preview this link, you'll see what it looks like in its true form. So it's simply a hyperlinked text ad right here, seamless, easy to integrate into content. And when you click through, you'll see the AvantLink tracking appended up here, and it takes you right to that left lane sports homepage. So that's the strategy you would use to incorporate a text ad or a banner ad onto your site. Now, there are a few other options we wanted to review with you. Do you want to take them through the next?
Yeah, I'll just touch on real quick what we call the ALE, or Affiliate Link Encoder. And this is really a convenient tool if you've built up a ton of content already and have existing links that go to some of these merchants that you're going to be working with through AvantLink. Essentially what it does is you put a line of code in your global header that touches all of your site pages, and it's going to convert those existing links, such as a backcountry.com, into an affiliate link.
So the affiliate link encoder essentially creates custom links on your behalf. However, you can also create custom links manually. You can access this through the tool page, and you can also access it directly from the home page. So this is a great option for when you want to link to a specific product that you are referencing in content that you're creating on your site.
Yeah, this is probably one of the top converters network-wide with editorial content, would you say?
Absolutely. So you'll simply be taken to this really easy, clean link creating tool. And I'll show you some content that I'm creating on my site, a review of the Marmot Tungsten two-person tent. It happens to be sold at REI. So I found the product URL on REI's site, and I can simply copy that URL and paste it where it says merchant landing page URL. So this does not need to be a homepage URL, but if you did simply want a homepage URL, when you click there, it will pull up all of your active merchants, and you can select one directly from that. However, you can also paste product level URL so that you can have some deep linking on your site. You can also add a custom tracking code, and you can use a URL shortening service. It's a little bit cleaner. So for the case of this demo, we'll select bit.ly, create link, and here's our ready to use custom link. So we will simply click copy link and go over to a review that I'm working on here. And I can highlight this header, the name of the tent that I'm reviewing, and I can add in that bit.ly hyperlink, click apply. And when you click through on that, it will take you directly to that product page. Again, the URL will be appended with affiliate tracking. Now within content, you can use the same custom link in as many places as you want, especially if it's going to be in one review. So you could link from deeper within your content. You can add a buy now tag or button to your site. And again, simply paste in that link, click apply, and you're good to go.
And how helpful is it to have a clear CTA in these types of posts?
Absolutely. Having a clear CTA is really helpful. Something like buy now or purchase here or get yours from REI, anything of that nature. Just really directing your reader to take that next step, to click on the link and to get that cookie set. Ultimately, you can't entirely control the conversion element that takes place on the merchant site. So the more valuable content that you can be creating and the more opportunity to link and get readers to click through that content, the better the chances are that you are going to make some money in the form of commissions.
Awesome. Well, I think we've gone through pretty much everything to get you started and get you in some programs, start putting links up. So that is something that you'll want to focus on right out of the gate. But how are people going to check on their performance once they get going in the network here?
So performance is certainly an important thing to keep an eye on. And one of the nice parts about our interface is when you land on this homepage, we give you a quick overview of performance. So we can check on today's performance, how we're doing on the day, a ton of different metrics here, from sales to commissions that we've earned, any incentives from paid placements that you may book with merchant partners, your click-through rate, etc. You can also look at the week and the month. And then you can also compare the same month to last year's month. So we can see how we are doing this month compared to last year's, which apparently we are doing very poorly. We've been busy. Anywho, so this is a great way to go for quick stats, but if you want to really dive in a little more deeply, you can use our reporting tool.
Absolutely. So the reporting tool, which you'll actually notice that there's reports and then performance. We're in the process of transitioning to a new database and a new interface to access that database, and that's what the performance tab is there.
All right, so now that we are in the reporting interface, we're going to click on Show Report Form. And there are a ton of different options. The default setting will be this performance summary, which will show you the performance on a per merchant basis. So within here, you can also choose any number of different options for reports, from performance summary by month or some comparative date range options, tracking trail reports, etc. So there's a lot to explore in there, but for now, we're just going to look at a standard performance summary, which is probably the most common report that we use. There's also a number of preset date ranges in here. We're going to look at this year, and you can also do custom date ranges here if you're looking for a specific time period. And then we'll click Select Report. Now, the default sort for this report when it loads is alphabetical by merchant. So one of the first things I would recommend doing to make this a little easier on the eye is to click on Customize Display Settings for this report on the upper right of that chart. And I'm going to click Default Sort Order to Sales Descending Order. So this is going to pull the merchants with the highest number of sales to the top, which are probably your most active and the ones you want to be paying attention to the most. And then we will click Save down below. All right. So now we will reload this report. And we have our most active merchants up top.
Beautiful.
So there are a number of different metrics that we can look at here. As I mentioned, sales, that's obviously a key one, but we can also look at the commissions that we've earned from those merchants to make sure we're receiving a competitive rate. We can look at the conversion rate. So I have nearly a 2% conversion rate with Under Armour. So clearly my audience seems to resonate with them a little bit more. And then it, of course, shows you your total commissions. If there's something missing that you want to see, again, you can click on that customized display settings to pull in additional metrics. You can also click on show more columns, which will show you all of the metrics available right here. And there is really a ton of information here. But sorting by sales is certainly an easy way to kind of keep an eye on your most active merchants and the ones that you want to be giving good attention to.
And now that I've gotten started, I've got some links up. I've been driving some traffic for 60 to 90 days. What are some things to watch for as far as red flags and reasons why I might want to direct those links elsewhere?
So some things to keep an eye on would be a really high number of click-throughs with very little to zero conversion. Either this means that merchant is not a great fit for your audience, or potentially there might be a tracking issue on the merchant's end. So the way that our tracking technology works, it would still pick up that initial click, but it wouldn't follow through all the way to that order confirmation page. And so you aren't necessarily getting credit for sales that you might be referring.
Yeah, and if that was a scenario, what's the best course of action? Do I reach out directly to the merchant? Do I reach out to AvantLink?
I would recommend first starting with the merchant to see if this is something that's going on with affiliates other than yourself. And if it is, then you can reach out directly to our support team, or you can have the merchant reach out directly to our support team on behalf of their entire program. Tracking issues are typically on the merchant side and not something that an affiliate can directly fix or control. So getting in touch with that merchant right away if you notice that something weird is going on is highly recommended. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this AvantLink affiliate interface training. I hope you're all a little bit more comfortable with the interface, understand how to apply to merchant programs, to create custom links, and to really take your affiliate marketing efforts to the next level. You can also find more resources on our blog and on our support pages, which will link to specific videos for the different tools that we have in AvantLink and different ways to optimize your affiliate program.
Yeah, and if you have any additional questions or topics that you want to see us cover, feel free to get in touch with us and let us know that feedback.
You can always email us at ateam@avantlink.com.
Thanks, everybody.